Trevor Snarr.
No, Snarr.
Snare.
Snarr.
Snare.
Snarr.
What is it?
Snarr.
You. Trevor Snarr is best known as Napoleon Dynamite's nemesis and personal bully. But in the state of Utah, he's also known as something else. A hero. Here is Trevor's tale of coming face to face with horror.
So in 2006, I recently was coming back from my speed reading sales position in telemarketing. And I decided, or instead of going to lunch, I thought I'd just go home and take a nap real quick. And so I drove up to my house, and at the time, since I was going to college and working, there's about 7, 8 of us in this house. It was a very large house, so each of us had our own bathroom and our own room and everything. So that's kind of the setting. It was in the middle of the afternoon, around 12:30, and I parked my car in the back, and I decided, I'm like, well, I'll just go in and have a quick bite to eat. And as I opened through the back door, I start noticing a lot of my roommate's stuff out kind of sporadically stationed beneath this spiraled staircase. And so I'm like, well, that's weird, you know, I mean, I don't think anybody was planning on moving, you know, and whatnot. And so as I start walking through the kitchen, I see a yellow jacket with a guy in my room messing with some stuff. And I'm thinking, well, that's not right either. I'm like, what's going on? And for a split second, I thought, you know, maybe this was Comcast because I had the modem, the internet stuff back there. Maybe something went haywire and they had somebody come over and start fixing it. So as I start slowly walking towards my bedroom, where this guy was, and start noticing all the stuff that was out, I looked at him, and it was kind of weird and humorous in a way that I said, can I help you? And he was in the middle of having hit my laptop in his hands. And I was just like, what are you doing? And so he eventually comes over right up into my face, and he goes, I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And within a millisecond, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm being robbed. And that is the first time, for one, that I've actually been threatened with my life. My initial thought was, well, I'm gonna look for my phone, but at the same time, he didn't pull out a gun or anything. He just continued to hold on to my laptop. I just graduated college, so I joined the Air Force to get that degree. I worked so hard to get that degree, and he has my freaking hard work in that laptop. And as he held on to it, the only way I can describe it is when a dog has a ball in his mouth, and you kind of do this, and the dog does this, and you do this and this. Well, that's exactly what was happening. Had my hands in the air, and as I started slowly bringing my hands down, debating whether or not if I was gonna go after him, he was, you know. And so then finally, I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. And so I put my hands down, and I just rushed him, and I bear hugged him. And I'm thinking, beat the shit out of him, do this, do that. But at the same time, I'm thinking, somebody has to be home. I live with 8 guys. Somebody has to be home. And I just literally, adrenaline took over. I bear hugged him, and I just started screaming like a freaking girl. I was like, help, 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 help. And I was just holding on to him so tightly, like, what is going on? And eventually, we were kind of like, wrestling and dancing. He swung, he kind of clocked me in the jaw. The laptop drops, and he just shuffles all over the place, and then goes for the door, and then just belts out. And I'm like, what the freak just happened? And so I just called, obviously, 911, telling him exactly what had happened. I'm like, I've just been robbed, a guy threatened to kill me. And I was just like, this is beyond me. And that scarred me for quite some time. Just even talking about it, it's been almost 10 years since this happened. It's totally horrific. I was totally horrified, and it was intense.